In this day and age, cloud computing holds tremendous importance in almost every field. And while there are multiple cloud providers out there, Google Cloud Platform stands proudly among the top 3 cloud providers. Hey guys, this is Akanksha from Intellipaat and I welcome you all to this video tutorial on what is Google Cloud. So guys, let me start the session by walking you through the agenda for today's video. So first and foremost, we will understand what is cloud computing. And then we'll look into the types of cloud computing and various cloud providers. After that, we will understand why one must opt for GCP. And then we will learn what exactly is GCP. After that, we will discuss GCP Global Infrastructure and GCP Services. And then we'll move on to the hands-on part where we will perform a practical involving major services offered by GCP. And then we'll also summarize the session with a quick walkthrough of all the topics covered in this video. And then finally, we'll have a short quiz to test what all you have learned in this video. Also guys, if you would like to learn GCP in depth, you can also check out Intellipaat's Google Cloud Platform course page. We have mentioned the link below in the description. So guys, without any further delays, let's start the session now. Before going into the depths of GCP, we must first understand the underlying technology, right? So let me begin with the session by introducing cloud computing to you guys. What is cloud computing? Cloud computing is the delivery of computing services like servers, storage, databases, networking, software, analytics, intelligence, and many more over the internet. Still confused? Well, simply put, cloud computing is using someone else's computer for your own personal needs. What it basically means is that, let's say you're storing some data on someone else's computer instead of doing it on your own personal hard drive. Now, you store the data and access it on someone else's computer using the internet. We can take Gmail here for example. You receive emails, right? And you can access them anytime you want, but they don't really get stored in your computer's hard drive, do they? So how are you able to access your emails? Where are they actually getting stored? Well, for now, let's say they're getting stored on Google's personal hard drive and you access them using internet. Moving on, let's now look into the types of cloud computing. Since cloud computing is an ever-growing field, there are multiple ways of categorizing it. The 2 most common categories of cloud computing are deployment models and service models. Now, service models are categorized on the basis of the kind of services that you are provided, whereas deployment models are categorized on the basis of how you can deploy your applications in the cloud. And service models are further divided into 3 kinds of models, namely infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. And in deployment models you have public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. So let's discuss all these models one by one, starting with service models. We'll discuss service models on the basis of services that you get to manage and the services that are managed by cloud providers for you. So here, first we have infrastructure as a service. It's like renting the whole IT infrastructure, that is servers, networks, storage, and more. Now, when you're renting a server, it'll be like getting a fresh piece of computer where you can install any OS you want, you can decide how much data can be stored in that computer, you can basically decide what is the purpose of that computer. So, the services that you get to manage in infrastructure as a service are applications, data, runtime, middleware, and OS, that is operating system. Coming to platform as a service, here you'll have no control over the underlying architecture such as operating system, storage, and more, as these are managed by cloud providers themselves. All you get here is runtime environment for deploying, testing, and managing applications. So this might be the best option for those who just want to host their application and focus completely on that application. So the services that you get to manage here are applications and data. And then we have software as a service. Here you only get access to web-based applications or software. You can access and operate the software with just your browser without having to download or install anything. So everything in software as a service is managed by cloud providers, including updating and maintaining the software. Now coming to deployment models, first we have public cloud. In public cloud, everything is stored and accessed over the internet and it's meant to be used by general public, which means that anyone can use public cloud. All the hardware and software is owned and managed by cloud providers. On the other hand, with private cloud, the cloud infrastructure is exclusively meant for a single organization. The services and infrastructure are managed through a private network. And then comes the hybrid cloud, which lets you get the best of both worlds. With hybrid cloud, users can enjoy the benefits of both public as well as private cloud. An organization is most likely to use hybrid cloud if, let's say, they want to store their confidential data on private cloud and use public cloud for the resources and services that are shared with external partners. So as we have already established that cloud computing is an ever-growing field, so naturally there's a huge number of cloud providers as well. Let's look into a few of them. So here first we have AWS, that is Amazon Web Services. Then we have Azure, Google Cloud, IBM Cloud, Adobe Creative Cloud, VMware, Rackspace, Oracle, and Salesforce. So out of all these cloud providers, what makes GCP special? Well, time to find out. Let's discuss why one must opt for GCP. GCP offers various unique features such as best pricing, automatic task scheduling, live migration, customization, flexibility and scalability. Let's discuss all these features one by one, starting with best pricing. Google Cloud uses a pay-per-use model according to which you only have to pay for the resources that you use. Also, Google Cloud hosting plans are said to be cheaper than other cloud hosting plans. So, GCP provides customer-friendly pricing where there is no upfront cost and termination fee. Automatic task scheduling. Google Cloud allows you to virtually schedule any task or job, be it running your staging VM environment only for working hours or turning down half the machine fleet in the middle of the night. The cloud scheduler will let you automate many of these tedious tasks in a managed manner. Live migration. Google Cloud's live migration feature allows proactive maintenance of all resources without causing any hindrance in the performance of the virtual machines hosted by the organization. This saves businesses from the headache of dealing with downtimes or outages. Customization. GCP provides a custom machine type feature that lets users create a virtual machine customized to their needs. Custom machine types are priced based on the resources that you use, and in some cases you can even save up to 50% or more compared to other cloud providers. Data privacy and security. Google Cloud Platform has put a significant amount of effort in ensuring data protection and security for their customers. Google has hired a team of professionals called Information Security that constantly work on securing and protecting the data stored in the Google Cloud. Also, Google uses several layers of encryption to protect the data of customers that are using GCP. Flexibility and scalability. Google Cloud Platform is known for the scalable system that it provides, which automatically adds more capacity as the workloads increases. You can specify how much CPU and memory each instance of your application needs, and the flexible environment will provision the necessary infrastructure for you. So these are all the main features that make GCP stand out the most. So moving on, let's now understand what exactly is GCP. So Google Cloud Platform, as you must already know by now, is a cloud platform offered by Google. It offers various cloud computing services such as compute, network, storage and more. But that's not all. There is more to GCP. I bet you all must have used or at least be aware of Google products such as Google Search Engine, YouTube, Gmail, Maps and Hangouts, right? What if I told you that Google uses their own cloud platform to manage and operate these products? I mean, how awesome is it that Google offers the same cloud infrastructure as they use for their own products to its users? We all know how amazing are Google products, right? So imagine how awesome will be the underlying infrastructure. And you'll get to use that same awesome infrastructure if you use GCP services. So here's another huge reason for you to choose GCP. So moving on, let's now understand GCP Global Infrastructure. Even though GCP is fairly young, they have been able to establish a reliable infrastructure which is growing across the globe at an awe-inspiring rate. Google Network is known worldwide for its speed, reliability, and capacity. Google Cloud is made available in 19 regions, 58 zones, 134 network edge locations, and 200 plus countries. And it will also be soon expanding to places like Japan, Indonesia, and Los Angeles. So now let's talk about the services that GCP offers. These services are categorized into different domains such as compute services, storage services, networking services, machine learning services, big data services, identity and security services, and many more. But the main services that can be used to host any kind of application are compute services, storage services, and networking services. Let's now understand these services individually, starting with compute services. So in compute services, first we have Compute Engine, which is basically an infrastructure as a service offering from Google Cloud Platform. Compute Engine service provides VMs, that is virtual machines, hosted on Google's infrastructure. Now, being an infrastructure as a service, you can think of it as a fresh piece of computer where you'll be given various options for OS, and you'll be given various options for units of CPUs and memory that you want for your virtual machine and everything else. Basically, all the configurations will be at your hands. Next comes App Engine, which is a platform as a service offering from Google Cloud. It's basically used for hosting and deploying your applications on Google Cloud Platform. So if you're using App Engine to deploy your application on Google Cloud, you won't be given any access to the operating system configurations or storage or the installation of the frameworks that you will need to deploy your application, because that will all be managed by Google Cloud itself. All you have to do is upload your application using App Engine and you'll be provided a link where your application will be running. So next comes Kubernetes Engine, which is basically a cluster management and orchestration system for coordinating Docker containers. So if your application is running in different Docker containers and you want to deploy that application on Google Cloud, then all you have to do is migrate those Docker containers using Kubernetes Engine, and you can then deploy your application on Google Cloud. So after compute services, next comes the storage services. So in storage services, first we have cloud storage. Cloud storage is an online file storage web service for storing and accessing data. Cloud storage can be used to store any kind of data. So when you're hosting an application on Google Cloud and you want to store the application data somewhere other than your server itself, then you can use cloud storage, which is also reliable and secure. And also, it's always considered good practice to create distributed architectured applications. So next in storage services, we have Cloud SQL, which is structured query language. Cloud SQL is a fully managed MySQL database service for hosting relational MySQL databases on Google's infrastructure. So if your application deals with only relational or structured data, then Cloud SQL might be the best option for you. Next storage service is Cloud Bigtable. Cloud Bigtable is a fast, fully managed and highly scalable NoSQL database service. Cloud Bigtable is actually used for big data applications like Hadoop. Now after storage domain comes the networking domain. So in networking services we have VPN, that is Virtual Private Network. VPN provides a private network to create a secure environment for your deployments. So basically, let's say you launched an instance and then you launched another instance and you want both of them to be communicating with each other. Now for that to happen, you'll have to include those two instances inside a network which will provide the instances a secure environment to be communicating with each other. So that's how VPN works. After that we have Cloud Load Balancing. Cloud Load Balancing is a service that load balances and auto-scales GCP compute resources. So basically, Cloud Load Balancing is a service which will distribute the incoming traffic of your application to multiple servers. Now there are two kinds of load balancing. First one is classic load balancing and the second is application load balancing. Now if you want the traffic to be equally distributed to multiple number of servers, then you will have to use classic load balancing. But if you want the traffic to be distributed on the basis of requests that you're getting on your application, then you'll have to use application load balancing. For example, if the user is requesting for storage upload, you may direct the user to some other server. So in networking services, next we have Cloud CDN, which is Content Delivery Network. Cloud CDN is Google's globally distributed edge points of presence to cache application content close to users. Suppose you hosted an application on Google Cloud in some region, but the user base of your application also exists in some other region. So when they try to access your application, it'll obviously take some time for your application to respond because your application resides in some other region and the user base is in some other region. So what you can do is you can use Cloud CDN to create a copy or a cached version of your application and place it on a server which is in a region closer to your user base. So now when they try to access your application, it won't take as much time as it used to. So that was all about networking services. Now moving on, let's discuss big data services. So in big data services, first we have BigQuery. Query is a fully managed data analysis service that enables businesses to analyze big data. After that we have Cloud Dataflow, which is a fully managed real-time data processing service for batch and streaming big data processing. And then we have Dataproc, a fast, easy to use, managed Spark and Hadoop service for distributed data processing. After big data services, we have identity and security services. So first we have Cloud IAM. Cloud IAM lets administrators authorize who can take actions on specific resources, along with built-in auditing. After that we have Cloud Resource Manager, a service for programmatically managing the resource containers and also used to group and organize GCP resources. Cloud Security Scanner, a web security scanner for common vulnerabilities in App Engine applications. Now let's discuss machine learning services. Cloud Machine Learning. Cloud Machine Learning is a managed service for building machine learning models using TensorFlow framework. Cloud Vision API. Cloud Vision API is used for image recognition and classification, detecting individual objects and faces within the images. Cloud Speech API. Cloud Speech API is used to convert audio to text. This API recognizes over 80 languages and variants. Alright guys, so now let's move on to the hands-on part. Like I said before, we'll perform a practical where we will use various GCP services. So let me quickly brief you about this hands-on. What we'll actually do is that we'll create an application, a PHP application that lets you browse your local machine for an image and lets you upload that selected image onto the Google Cloud storage. We will then also deploy this application onto the Google Cloud. So before we start, let me show you how this application actually works by running it on my local machine. Since it's a PHP application, I'm using XAMPP. So for those of you guys who don't know what XAMPP is an open source cross-platform web server solution which lets you run your PHP scripts on your local machine by providing you a local web server. So to run my PHP application on my local machine, I had to first set up my machine, right? I had to download XAMPP, then I had to install it, and now I can run my PHP applications. So guys, before I run my application, let me quickly show you where all your PHP files should reside if you want to run your PHP application on your local machine using XAMPP. So when you download XAMPP and install it, you'll probably find a folder in your C drive called XAMPP. So in this folder, you'll again find a folder called htdocs where all your PHP files should reside. So my file is index. So to run my PHP application, all I have to do is type in localhost on my browser /index.php, my PHP file name. And when I press enter, here's my application. So as you can see, there are two options here, choose and upload. So let me click on choose to browse and select an image from my machine. Here I have an image called GCP tutorial. I'll select this image, open, and as you can see, the image has been selected, GCP tutorial.png. So before I click on upload image, let me also show you my cloud storage bucket so that you know it's empty, and after I click on upload image, the image will be uploaded. So here I go to my bucket. I've created this bucket for my application. So right now you can see it's empty, right? So going back to the application, if I click on upload image, it says the image has been uploaded to your bucket successfully. So let's go back to our bucket and confirm if that's true. See here, if I press on refresh bucket, here you can see the image has been uploaded. Okay guys, so now you know how the application works, right? So now let me tell you what are all the components that you will need to run your app. So first of all, you will need an App Engine instance to deploy your application on the Google Cloud. After that, you will need Cloud Storage Bucket where you will be uploading all your images from your application. After that, you will need something called Cloud SDK. I'll tell you what it is and why do we need it once we get there. After that, there's something called Service Account Key that you will also need. And then there is Composer. Again, I'll let you know what it is and why do we need it once we get there. So guys, these are all the components that you need to deploy your application on cloud. But what about creating your application? What are the things that you need to create your application? Well, first of all, of course, a PHP code file which you will run as an application. And then there is app.yaml file, which is a configuration file that you will need for your PHP code file. Okay, so now let's get started with our demo. For that, you'll have to go to your Google Cloud Console. In GCP, everything you do that includes any service you use, any resource you run, any application you deploy, absolutely anything that you do is counted as project. So basically, if you want to perform any activity, you'll first have to create a project where you can associate that activity to that project, or you can just select any of the previously existing projects. So guys, if you want to create a new project, then all you have to do is go to this tab that currently says hello. That is because the project that I've selected or the project that I'm currently using is named as hello. So when you click on this tab, you'll be able to see the list of all the projects that you have previously created. For creating new project, you just have to create a new project and then you can name your project anything you want, and then after that you can just click on create. Also, here as you can see that every project has something called ID. So when you create a project, GCP will auto-generate a unique ID for all of your projects. So once you have created a project for your application, make sure that the name is reflected over here, because that means that the project that you just created is currently selected and you're going to work under that project. So after creating the project, the next thing that you have to do is create your first App Engine instance. Now you need App Engine instance to run or deploy your application on the cloud. As you guys saw, when I was running my application on my local machine, I had to first set up my local machine to run my PHP application, right? I had to first download XAMPP and install it, and then I had to make sure that all my PHP files reside in that particular folder. So basically, I had to set up my environment for running my application. But when you're deploying your application on App Engine, you don't have to worry about any of that, because App Engine, as I've already mentioned in this video before, is a platform as a service offered by Google. So all the necessary infrastructure and the environment setup will be provided to you, and you can just directly deploy your application and run it. Now, to create an App Engine instance, there are actually two ways of doing that. First, you can directly create an App Engine instance using this console, or second, you can use something called Cloud SDK. Now, Cloud SDK is a set of tools for cloud platform, which also includes command line tools. So basically, you'll be able to access and use any of the services provided by GCP using a command line tool. Also, Cloud SDK is what you need to deploy your code files onto the cloud. So in this hands-on, we'll be using Cloud SDK. To use Cloud SDK, we'll first have to download it. So let me show you how you can download Cloud SDK. You just have to click here and you see downloads here, right? This option is basically the home for all the tools that you may need to use with any of the GCP services. So if you want to download any tool, you can just click here and you'll get a list of all the tools and you can download any one of those. So let's click here. So here, as you can see, this is the list that I was talking about. You can download any of these tools whenever you need them. So right now we need Cloud SDK. So let's click on that. So now we are directed to the Cloud SDK documentation. So I'm using Windows, so I'll just keep it this way only. But if you're using some other OS like Linux or Ubuntu or any of these, then you can select those. And after that, you just have to click on this Cloud SDK installer. Once you click on this, the Cloud SDK installer will be downloaded to your machine. So all you have to do after that is run this exe file and the Cloud SDK will be installed on your system. So after you have successfully installed Cloud SDK onto your system, you'll probably find a shortcut to your Cloud SDK shell sitting on your desktop, like this. So now we have Cloud SDK, which we'll be using to deploy our application code files onto the cloud. And we'll also use Cloud SDK to launch App Engine instance where we will deploy our application. So now one of the remaining components that we need for this hands-on is Cloud Storage Bucket. So let's move on and create a Cloud Storage Bucket. To do that, we'll go to our console. Here, if you see on your left side, there's a list of all the services offered by GCP. So we'll navigate to Storage and then there it is, we'll go to Browser. So here you can see a list of all the buckets that I've already created, and on the top of the list there's the bucket that I was using for uploading the images from my application onto the cloud. So since you have to create the bucket from scratch, let me show you how you can do that. You just have to click here on this option called Create Bucket, and then you'll have to provide a name for your bucket, which by the way should be unique globally. So let me try. So as you can see, if you're trying to use a bucket name that is already in use, then GCP will inform you like this. So let me try some other name. Alright, so I guess I found a name. So next we have default storage class. So here we have 4 different options. Multi-regional and regional storage classes are based upon regions, whereas nearline and core-line storage classes are based upon the usage of your bucket. Multi-regional is to be used with a bucket that is going to be accessed frequently from multiple regions, whereas regional should be used with a bucket that is only going to be accessed from a particular region. Nearline should be used with a bucket where the data of the bucket is going to be accessed once per month. Whereas core line should be used with a bucket where the data of the bucket is going to be accessed very rarely, that is once per year. So here for this hands-on, I'll use multi-regional storage class for my bucket, and then I also have to specify that my bucket is to be accessed from multiple regions in Asia. Alright. You can further also compare storage classes on the basis of the cost, but then you don't have to worry about that if you are in your free trial period. So moving on, we'll just click on Create. And there you go, your bucket has been successfully created. So now we have Cloud SDK. We'll be launching App Engine instance using Cloud SDK. We also have a storage bucket. Let's now look into service account key. Service account keys are used to authenticate machines such as Compute Engine instances or App Engine instances to use other cloud services. Like in this hands-on, we are using service account key to authenticate our App Engine instance to use our storage bucket that we just created. So let me quickly show you how to create a service account key. All you have to do is go to APIs and services and then on credentials. After that, you just have to click on create and then select service account key. Here you have to choose new service account and then give a name to your service account such as select the role as project and then owner, and then make sure the key type of your service account key is JSON. After that, you just have to click on create and the service account key will be downloaded and saved on your system in JSON format. So here you go. Now make sure you keep this file safe because we are going to need this. Now we also have service account key. So what's remaining is Composer. So let's get to it. Composer is basically a package manager that deals and handles with all the packages and libraries that you may need to include in your PHP code file. So when you download Composer, all the necessary packages and libraries that you may need to use with your PHP code file will also get downloaded in a folder named vendor. So let's download our Composer. I'll mention the link to download the Composer in the description below. So once you're directed to this page, just click on download and then click on composer setup.exe, which will download the installer for you. After the composer setup is downloaded, you can just run this exe file and the installer, as mentioned here, will download composer for you and set up the path environment variable, so you can simply call composer from any directory. After the composer is downloaded and installed successfully on your machine, like I said before, a folder named vendor will also be created containing all the necessary packages and libraries for your PHP file. So moving on, let's look into our application code files. So this is the folder where I've kept all of my application code files. As you can see that I also have a JSON file here. This JSON file is the same service account key that we just created and downloaded to my system. So let me open my PHP application code file and show you my code. So here's my PHP application. First of all, let's just get over with the front end of our application. Here's a regular HTML code where I have included a form for the front end of my application. And here's the whole PHP code for all of the backend work that my application is doing. You can find a similar PHP code on Google Cloud documentation also. So I'll just tell you all of the things that you will have to include in that code on your own. So first of all, I have included a file called autoload.php, which is basically a library which resides in the folder named vendor, which was downloaded when I installed Composer on my system, under which I am running my application. So for this field, you'll have to include the project ID of your own project that you created in the very beginning of this hands-on. After that, I have included these 3 lines of code where I have provided the name of my JSON file which was downloaded to my system when I created my service account key. So you'll also have to include your service account key in this field. After that, here in this field where I have actually created a variable called bucket, I have included the bucket name that I am using to upload my images from the application that I've created. So in this field, you'll have to provide the cloud storage bucket name for your bucket. This is the basic PHP code for uploading images from an application. After that, I have included these 2 code lines where basically I'm uploading the selected image to the bucket. Here I've used the variable named bucket, which I created when I was including my bucket name. After that, I'm simply displaying a message that the image has been uploaded to your bucket successfully. So that was all in my PHP code file. Now let's look into app.yaml file. So app.yaml file is basically a configuration file that tells App Engine how our application is going to behave. Let's go line by line to understand this app.yaml file that I have. So the first field that we have here is runtime. Runtime tells what kind of script I'm going to use to deploy my application on App Engine. So if you're using a Python script, then you'll have to mention Python here instead of PHP. After that, we have API version. API version specifies the version of runtime environment that the App Engine is going to use to deploy your application. Specifying the value 1 here tells the App Engine to use the latest supported runtime environment. And then next we have handlers. Handlers section defines which requests are going to be processed by which script. So for this hands-on, the application that I am using contains only 1 script, right? But what if I had 2 different scripts? Let's assume that I had 2 scripts named image.php for uploading images into the bucket, and then the next script named file.php for uploading text files into the bucket. In that case, I would have mentioned in the handlers that for the kind of request where the user wants to upload an image into the bucket, my image.php script should be processed, and for the kind of request where the user wants to upload a text file into the bucket, my file.php script should be processed. But right now we don't have to worry about that because I only have 1 script, that is index.php. So that was all about the app.yaml file. Going back to the PHP file, once you're done including all the necessary files like service account key and your bucket name, your application will be able to upload images in your storage bucket. You can test it by running it on your local machine using XAMPP like I did in the very beginning of this hands-on. Once your application is up and running, you'll be ready to upload your application onto the cloud. Moving on, let me show you how to do that. So the very first thing that you need to do is start your Cloud SDK shell. So let me do that here. So before we can start using our Cloud SDK shell, let me first tell you that you'll have to append the path of your Cloud SDK in your environment variable. Repeat, once you've done that, you can start using your Cloud SDK shell. So now what we need to do is, we need to run the command gcloud init. So now since I've already logged in using my account and I have already selected my project, I don't have to create a new configuration. I can just reinitialize this configuration with new settings. So let me pick my numeric choice as 1. So I would like to choose my account only. Alright. So again, I will use the first project because that is the project under which I'm going to run my application. Alright, do you want to configure a default compute? Okay, yes. I'll choose Asia South. So now we are ready to deploy our application onto the cloud. But to do that, we'll also have to deploy our application codes onto the cloud, right? So to do that, I'll just have to move to the directory where all my application codes reside. So let me first do that. I'm moving to the project directory where all my application codes are. So we can also view all of the files and directories residing inside the project directory with this command. And so now you can deploy your application codes using this command, deploy. Do you want to continue? Yes. So it says file upload is done. Alright, so now my code files are deployed onto the cloud. So to run my application on App Engine, all I have to do is copy this from here and I'll paste this link on my browser, and here you go. Now my application is actually running on App Engine. Let's see if it's still working or not. Again, I'll choose this image and I'll click on upload image, and then I'll go back to my bucket to see if the image has been uploaded or not. So again, the image has been uploaded. So guys, that would be all for this hands-on. Let's now move on and take a quick walkthrough of the whole session. So the first topic that we discussed was cloud computing. We learned what is cloud computing, and then we looked into the categories of cloud computing and various cloud providers. Then we learned why one must opt for GCP. We learned out of all the cloud providers what makes GCP stand out. Then we learned what is GCP. We also had a look at some Google products. After that, we learned about various GCP services. And then we learned how to use GCP services by performing a hands-on. So basically, we covered all the major fundamentals of GCP and we also performed a hands-on. So guys, now I think you're ready for the quiz. So my question for you guys is, what is cloud load balancing? Your options are a compute service, networking service, storage service, or big data service. If you know the answer to this question, do comment it in the comment section down below. I hope you found the video informative. Stay tuned to Intellipaat's YouTube channel for more informative videos.